I'm Wilhelmina Ford. Welcome to the Not Too Much Comedy Show. And today we're going to talk a little bit about our backgrounds. And I came from horses. I'm not sure where you came from.
I came from a mother. What's your excuse?
But this is the best thing I have right now for a horse.
This is a horse. Huh?
So, and the closest thing I could find to a cowgirl outfit. And I invited Carl to join me on his pony.
On a pony, huh?
Yeah,
This
so
is a phony pony.
introduce yourself, Carl.
My name is Wilhelmina.
No, you're Carl. You
Oh.
are confused, aren't you?
I am confused. I'm Carl Bradfield, a Christian combat veteran for Jesus. I'm a screenwriter, an author, a retired martial arts instructor. This is what we used to call the martial arts. That's the horse stance. I'm also, I was a runner. And
Wait a minute now. We're not going to do the whole life story now. We'll talk about our childhoods. We need to go back
cool,
to
kid. We'll
sit.
talk later. Anyway, you continue. Ooh.
Did you? Just introduce yourself. That's all I asked.
Hi, I'm Carl Bradfield.
Okay. And this is the Not Too Much Comedy Show.
And it's starting out that way.
Okay, let's go sit down. Okay, Carl. All righty.
Yeah.
Oh,
There, get out of the way. Oh, okay, you gotta sit down.
I don't think I need the cowgirl hat anymore. Take that off.
Well, I gotta squeeze into this little seat here.
Now you're supposed to have come up with a story about your childhood.
Okay.
Can you face me a little bit? So I felt like I'm facing your back. All right.
Shooty. Okay, I have a Boy Scout story. It's an unusual Boy Scout story. When I was 11 years old, I palled around with the manager of our projects in Baltimore.
You were a Boy Scout.
We were leading up to that. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not
Okay.
yet.
You weren't a Boy Scout.
No.
I'm just asking. Just asking.
Anyway, I was born in inner city Baltimore and the Latrobe Projects. The manager that I palled around with during the summertime, he came to a couple of us boys and he said, "How would you like to join the Boy Scouts?" We had to be 12 years old to be a Boy Scout in those days. And he said, "No, you could join right now." And he went, "Yeah, sure." He says, "But we're forming a new troop. All you have to do is find 25 boys and a scoutmaster."
Oh, wow.
So we jumped at it because we didn't have to wait to 12 years old. And we spent the next couple of weeks getting the boys together, but we couldn't find a scoutmaster. Nobody wanted to do it. Now, my Uncle Charlie, he was a house painter. And he had an assistant named George. Now, all the kids knew George wasn't running with all his burners. He's a little off. But one day, and during this time, we were getting desperate. We couldn't find anybody, and the time for the general meeting was almost upon us. So I saw George. "Hey, George, way out there." I said, "You want to be a scoutmaster?" "Yeah, I'll be a scoutmaster." He didn't even have to think about it. Okay. Well, we have an adult. He's an adult. Anyway, then the meeting. We had the meeting. He was elected. He was nominated. He was a scoutmaster.
Good thing.
Okay. So we went through a couple of Boy Scout handbook things there in the hall, which had a stage and curtains. I almost set fire to the curtains, by the way, accidentally. Almost.
I hope.
They put it out.
I hope.
Anyway, then we went on our first hike.
Now, did this guy know anything about scouting?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh,
I'm getting
okay.
to that. That's my punchline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. I love it when she interrupts. It just makes the story longer. We went to an area west of Baltimore called the Patapsco State Park, a big area. A lot of people camped out there for our first camping experience overnight. This is an area that also had a lot of train tracks. very heavily trafficked with trains. And well, during our hike, the next morning we had to camp out. We spent the night there to cook out. The next morning we went on a hike and wound up on the railroad tracks. And my dad had told me, as many fathers used to say, when you see shiny tracks,
Busy.
it's busy, right? I mean, you don't have to tell anybody this it's not tracks that are not being used anymore. Now we're hiking along there, and way up ahead was a tunnel, and all the boys were in tune to this. George was the only one not in tune with us.
Your master.
And yes, the scoutmaster. And I said to him, because I'm the one that got him, I felt a little, like I'm responsible for him. George, trains run on these tracks. Now there's like 3 sets of tracks, okay, all shiny as a brand new nickel. And he said, trains don't run on these tracks anymore. And I said, yes, they do. Okay, well, anyway, we kept getting closer to the tunnel entrance, and the sides, the wooded sides kept getting steeper too. Too steep almost to climb up. And I finally said to George, when are we going to climb up? Because they get steep. He said, oh, we're not climbing up, we're going through the tunnel. I said, I'm not going through that tunnel. The boys said it too. He says, I'll make it go through the tunnel. I said, I'm not going to do that. If a train comes, you lay down in the middle of the track and let the train run over you. He was serious of this.
Oh, my God.
And I said, I am not laying down in the middle of a track while a train runs over me. He said, well, then I'll have to force you down. I said, how is that going to prevent us from getting mangled? So this was a very long tunnel, by the way. And we're hiking through this. George is the only one not concerned, okay? The boys, and there's about a dozen of us, were all...
Were there lights in the tunnel?
There were lights, and there were inserts where we could step in if a train did come. By this time, the tracks were about 2 sets. They had narrowed down. And, of course, the end of the tunnel was about as big as a quarter at first. That's how long the tunnel was. And we finally got to the other side, and there was a bend there. There was a bend of the track and a conning tower with a couple of men inside. And then when they saw a scout troop emerge out of the tunnel, and we didn't have scout uniforms at this time, it's new, they gave him the finger. Come here, buddy, we want to talk to you. And so there was a sighting. We were relieved that we did make it through that tunnel. We sat on the side, and there was a glass enclosure, and we couldn't hear what the men were saying to George, but we knew he was getting reamed up one end and down the other. While he was getting reamed up, an engine with a coal tender zoomed around the bend at about 90 miles an hour through the tunnel. Okay.
Did he continue to be your scoutmaster after this?
No, that was the end of the scout troop right then and there.
Oh!
No, well, I mean, it took a couple of days when this story got back to the authorities, whomever. But it turned out, and my Uncle Charlie, he didn't tell me this originally, George was wounded during World War II in the head. He wasn't running with all his beans, okay? When he went through the tunnel, he was leading... In his mind, he was leading a combat patrol in Europe through a train tunnel. He wasn't leading a scout troop. Needless to say, George lost his job. We lost the scout troop because we didn't qualify, especially after they heard.
Now, this is supposed to be a comedy show.
I thought that was pretty funny after it was over. And
I bet your uncle did. But I'm glad you made it through.
But when I was 12 years old, I did join a bona fide scout troop in my church in those days. Anyway, that was one of the many stories. That was one of my stories. But Wilhelmina.
Someday he'll learn my name.
It's not an easy name to say 3 times in a row.
Wilhelmina.
Thank you. Yeah, see, you can say it.
Yeah, I can say it.
Yeah. Well, tell us about you.
What?
You have much of a story.
Oh, well, we
A true
were
story.
going to talk about the horses because when I told a few weeks ago I thought my name was Sylvia when I was young. But whatever. On my 5th birthday, my mother bought the first Shetland pony. And it wasn't particularly because I wanted a pony. My mother loved horses and ponies. And so I got this pony. By the time I was 6 years old, we had 2 ponies. And yes, 2 ponies. And that was the first year that I gave pony rides. Then we started this whole business of ponies. We took them in the car. As you can see, the Shetland pony would fit. We'd move the seat, and that was Skipper, a little pinto that I got when I was
Did you
about
have to
6
sweep out
or
the back
7.
seat?
Nope, that never happened. And there's my little cowgirl outfit when I'm riding Skipper.
Oh.
And we did all kinds of things. We did
Sort of a
birthday
nag on a nag,
parties.
huh?
We did birthday
Okay,
parties.
slap my hand.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get the pictures. There's Princess, and that was one of the wagons we had. We could give rides in the wagon as well as pony rides. We did the drive-in theaters. We had a sleigh, but unfortunately I don't have a picture of. We took Santa. I took Santa Claus to school. This was me on Skipper. Look at the camera, sweetie. You know, I want you to see, that's me. I did all kinds of tricks. I did tricks on Skipper.
You mistreat that pony?
I was about 7 or 8 years old there. Yeah, that was a good pony. And that's Princess. With the long hair.
Did you ever have a horse to get horse?
This was in Maine, which is pretty cold.
He's got a mane.
Yes, he's got a long mane there. She. And that's Skipper again.
Oh,
I
that's a
think
she.
that's the same one.
You had a
that's
mane
Judy. That's at a horse show.
Judy.
And I was 11 years old, and they did a write-up on me, Junior Miss in Business, about the whole history of our ponies. And it was work. I mean, I lugged water and hay, and kids thought I was so lucky to have horses and ponies, but it was business. This is when I was 16. This was my Palomino. This was Lucky Charm, who I watched being born. I watched a lot of the ponies being born. And her mother was Dixie, which was our first Palomino.
And you lived in Maine?
I lived in Maine, and that was at the Topsom Fair at the county races. It was sulky races. And it was a lot of fun. I loved that part of it. And I loved doing the trail rides and things when I was older. I loved going out in the woods and just experimenting, with nature and being alone on my horse. And it was a wonderful time.
Did you ever kiss your horse like the old cowboy?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Cowboy?
I mean, horses are wonderful
No wonder she won't kiss
beings.
me.
Well, let's not go there, Carl. You want to be my friend.
That was
we'll
a
be
joke.
friends.
That was a joke. Good. Googa mooga hooga.
Yeah, and
Okay.
let's see now. I think that's enough about me for today. And I think we ought to probably, I'm not sure about the timing, but it's about 1:15. We're going to talk about a little bit about our sponsors. And
Okay,
you
let's do
were
that.
you were saying that you've already got 3 or 4.
Well, we have some sponsors, and I would like to thank our sponsors. Really, I'd like to thank Tony Masters in Lakeland, Florida. He's one of my Vietnam War buddies. He was a brigadier general, so he wasn't my buddy in Vietnam, but when I was a sergeant. But today I could talk to him just like a buddy. And I'd like to give a special thanks, of course, to Mike Pereira in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, and we're looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor this show, you can call in the number to Talk Wad.
Or they can go online to
Yes.
Talk Wad
And
Studios.
I'm sure they'll put the number up that you can talk with. And okay. That's about the...
And I really would like to have somebody out there help us stay on the air. I know you don't want me to say that, but if we don't get more sponsors, we're not going to be able to stay on the air.
We'll get the sponsors. We'll get the sponsors.
Okay, sweet.
We'll sponsor it ourselves if we have to.
Speak
But
for
we'll-
yourself.
Or we won't.
Or we won't.
But I rode a horse one time in a trail
You
ride.
rode a horse? You couldn't even ride a ball.
Well, that doesn't have a saddle on it. But the horse I did. The horse I rode though, and I've done this before. I used to go riding, but the horse I was on a trail ride decided he suddenly had it scratch his back. So he, with a saddle on and me, he laid down and rolled over, and I just managed to get out of the way, and he rolled on his back with all fours and pointed in the air and scratched his back with the saddle on
He
it.
was just trying to get rid of you, hon. Let's face it. How do you know his back was itchy?
Well, we went like this. I just assumed that's what it was.
He wanted to make sure you were gone. Oh, well.
Okay, just for that,
Just for that.
we're going to do some Daily Dozen.
Oh, that's a defense thing. All right.
Okay.
Okay. In case you don't know, our show is not very funny. Oh, no, it's not too much comedy. But we also, we talk about health, nutrition, exercise, and defense.
Now I'm going to take this jacket off.
And, well, I'm going to take my shirt off, too.
Oh, boy.
So-
Come here.
Oh,
Can I
honey,
watch?
I have another shirt on. Silly.
No, I'm
know.
taking mine off. They're not watching you.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to
I
be
mean,
able
they're
to
not
do
watching me.
what you want me to do in these cowboy
What do I have
boots.
in their pocket? I don't know.
Oh, that could
Okay.
be challenging.
All right. Now what we're going to do is the Daily Dozen. We were up to number
Our heads
3.
Our heads are a little cut off here. Let's see if we move back a little. Okay, ta-da.
I think you ought to take a step that way, so we don't run
You want me
into
to
each
get
other.
out of the camera?
No. Just that we're going to do this. And then you can stand next to me, but we don't want to bang fingers.
Okay,
It hurts.
okay.
Okay, the Daily Dozen. We're going to do the first 3 very quickly.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, we're just gonna brief,
Yes.
yeah, refresh.
Now, the Daily Dozen is part of my defensive exercise series. These are exercises. Most people will never be attacked in their whole lifetime. Some are rarer. Some get attacked more often than not, especially if you're born in the inner city. But
Or if you're offensive.
we do exercise all the time. So what we're going to do is the first exercise, and we're only going to do a few. You have to do them as much as you want. Okay, the first is a warm up, which is spreading out. All right, yeah, we'll do this so we don't wrap. And move our hands, our arms.
Fly away.
You know. This is just warming up now. Then about, we're going to do about 10 now. Then we widen it out all the way. Okay, and if we collide, I hope she yells before I do. Okay, then reverse this, back this way. That's all we're going to do right now. Then we'll bring it in front again, in front of the body. Now you can just about see what this would do for defense.
Flying away.
Okay, but right now it's the exercise. And we're going to drop our hands and shake it out because we want to move along into the next exercise, which is, remember this one? It's the hand, the left, we'll start with the right hand to the opposite shoulder and
Oh, across
twist.
the eyes.
A twist at the waist as you do so. Okay, that's right. Go ahead. You go ahead. I was going to try to catch up to you, actually, so we stay together. Okay. Now, try to keep your trunk as much as.
Where are the new ones?
Hang on. Just hang, and never mind one. Okay. All right. We're going to do this. Now, we should be doing this about 30 times.
Like fly. Get that fly out of here.
Okay, that's. But now, crossing your eye because you'll use this eventually. Oh, she pooped out at the
I'm
party.
just gonna hang.
Next exercise.
Yes.
Next exercise that we did at the Daily Dozen is this one. Remember this one? There's your watch.
Okay, I forget
And this
it.
again is another waist exercise, and it does have a defensive move, as she found out. As
Yeah, we're not doing that again.
well, don't kick me at me.
I want to do the new stuff.
Well, it's only going to be one new stuff because we want
Oh.
everybody to, we want to see what you have. Do you have anything?
What? I don't do defense.
Exercise.
I'm defenseless.
Don't you? Yeah, sure you are. Okay. Now, the reason you're pulling this up under your armpit, the opposite hand, is to stretch the opposite love handles, for lack of a better word, okay? And again, all these exercises should be, stop. All these exercises are basically for the waist, but they're also defensive moves, all right? The new one we're going to do, number 4 on the scale of 12. Basically what we're going to do is turn, this is another waist exercise, this way and then the opposite way, all right? Now I'm going to show you what this might do. I'm going to stand in front of my favorite girl here.
You gonna touch me?
Yes, I want you to,
I elbow you?
I want you to,
Is that the idea?
pardon me while I take care of a little.
You know, you're cutting me off completely.
I want you to,
Hey!
I want you to bear hug me, baby. Hug me, underarm.
Do I have to?
You have to,
I have to hug you.
put your
You
arms
didn't
around
tell
me.
me that.
Put your,
Jeez. Okay.
that's the idea. Now, well, watch.
Well,
I'm gonna do this easy now.
oh, you're gonna elbow me?
Well, you see? Okay. Tools off. Here, okay, one.
Am I supposed to? Ow! Well, pinching. I mean, where's pinching? I can pinch you too.
Ow. Okay. Anyway, you got the idea, okay? Now what we're gonna do.
Oh, next time you better tell me what you're gonna do.
You better tell me what you're gonna do.
Well, I didn't think you were gonna pinch me.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Because I was sorry when I threw on the floor too. But
Yeah.
all right.
He's always
Again,
sorry.
here we go. Here we
He's
go.
very sorry.
Are you ready?
Ready for what?
This,
Oh.
the exercise.
Oh, is this?
I showed you the defense, what it's for. Now we're gonna.
Am I supposed to be hugging somebody in this
No.
place?
You're the defender in this case. But what you're doing is the exercise. Okay. This is the
If I'm
exercise.
doing your exercise, I don't have to do my exercise.
Okay. Again, try to keep your trunk, the lower part of your body, as straight as possible. This is good one for. This is another good one for sitting down. If you're seated, you can't turn the lower part of your body. All right. Now we had one time in a demonstration we gave in martial arts, we had a 90-pound teenage girl almost knock out a 250-pound man when she forgot which side she was going to. That's a defense. All right. So if you work with a partner, be very careful that you don't. Yeah, that you don't give them the elbow. Okay.
Oh, is it my turn?
Oh, Susanna.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do a whole lot, but let me get my horse back here. This horse is also known as a stability ball. And
Stupid ball.
No, you're the stupid one here. Ooh, I didn't mean that.
Oh yeah, sure you did. Oh yeah.
But anyway, there's lots, besides the fact that when I watch television, this is one of my favorite. I want to get over here where I can see you. I mean, somewhere. I just don't want to be turned with my back to the camera. So, if you want to be on, you can probably stand over there too. Anyway, yeah, there, just so I can see you. So I know where to look. You just.
I don't think you
It's
trust
very
me.
Interesting. Well, I guess not. That's all right. You want to get the ball here and join me? I mean, I do your exercises. You can do mine too. So, here, let me get you in the picture here. Okay. Now, instead of just bouncing, which is fun to do when you're watching television or whatever, you can lift and do squats. And that's a smaller ball, so you might do better on the bigger one if you're not used to squats.
I've done squats with weights.
All right, fine, do that one then. I was trying to be kind.
What kind are you? Okay.
Nice. Oh, our heads are getting cut off. Well, we could just stay seated. We look good without heads. But just basic squats.
I feel like a couple of pistons. Let's get together with this, will you?
Do you mean we're supposed, okay.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3. People get the idea. And you don't need to have an activity ball. You can do this with a chair, you can do it with a stool. you can do it
125
with
pounds worth of weights.
Just so you get the idea. There's lots of things that you can do to keep busy, to keep active, to get your body moving. Oh, you're gonna blow your whistle again.
Well, he
Okay,
said
well,
we could do different things.
we've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. We've got to get back and finish up the rest of our little show.
They're a really big shoe.
So, that's enough for today of the activity. Whew, I don't want to put that shirt on. Maybe I'll put your shirt on. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is my chair.
You gonna put my?
Yeah,
Then I'll put your shirt on.
go ahead. I don't think it'll fit you. Come back here. We're in the
No, no,
close
this is-
shot.
Looks like a sissy
You have
shirt.
to come over here, honey.
Maybe I better not.
I mean a sissy shirt. You're supposed to tell a humorous war story. Hello?
Oh, okay, okay.
Sit down.
Ah,
You're not in the picture. There you go.
okay. All right, we're going to tell it's, something that happened to us in Vietnam, something that happened to me in Vietnam. When I say us, I should say us, the whole platoon. Everybody in 1966. From the lighter moments of the Vietnam War series that I have. We had everybody knows what sea rations are. Sea rations was our food, in cans. Well, to carry them, we would put them in boot socks. It's called sea rations in the boot socks. And what that meant was that we would have tubes of a boot sock, but a couple of tubes dangling from our harness, our battle gear. But sometimes these, and when we ate the food anytime we wanted to. But sometimes these long tubes would get in the way when we ran into a firefight. And I know a couple of times that I had a hard time. I sort of had a blockage. My hand would come up quick, and you had to be quick in Vietnam. It would come up quick, and then these tubes would actually interfere with the response to the enemy, because the Viet Cong would pop at us at any time. But the sea rations and the boot socks was carried all around our harness. If we went out for 9 days, we would have that many sea rations.
Stored,
Yeah.
stashed in your little thingies.
Right. Now this is before the jungle fatigues came along. When the fatigues came along, the jungle fatigues, we had a little more pocket space, but we still had these tubes of sea rations dangling from our harness, and we needed a space to carry ammunition. The more ammunition we carried, the better we felt. I was up to with the rifle M14 and M16, up to carrying 400 rounds of ammunition with me, and these had to be stored somewhere on your body, and it was weight. But the sea rations, boot sock sea rations, interfered with us more times than we wanted to acknowledge, and that's the end of the story.
Oh, I was waiting for the funny.
The funny part is, don't stuff your sea rations in your boot sock unless
Unless you wash your feet often enough. I can imagine going to eat something. I'm sorry.
listen, that whole country stunk. It wouldn't matter one different. It wouldn't matter one different.
Okay. All right. Now, my nutrition tip of the week. Don't carry your sea rations in your... No. I've talked a little bit about different things that we should eat. You know, your fruits and your vegetables to get your potassium and avoid excessive sodium.
Yakimondo.
But one other
That's
thing
dog meat.
that people seem to forget about, and that I just want to bring up, I'm not going to advertise a particular brand, but it's very important that you stay hydrated. Um, Drinking water, you should drink as much water as you're comfortable. I mean, different people, I'm not going to tell you to drink 10 8-ounce glasses a day. Some people just don't do that much, and other people do a lot more. I generally do a lot more. But it's very good to keep your kidneys functioning, to flush out all the junk that we eat, to keep water, not soda, not even diet soda, water, H2O. Good, clean water.
I'm a
is
milk
the
drinker.
Best,
You gonna
a
pickle
what
m-
drinker?
I'm a milk drinker. You gonna pickle milk?
No, milk is okay, but that's not going to hydrate you the way water will. Nothing will hydrate you as well as water, because milk, you're getting a lot of calories, and if you're drinking regular milk or anything but
That's
skim milk, you're getting in a
calories.
lot of. Okay, well, I've said my piece and my thought for the week. Okay, we've talked about looking for the good and feeling good, and it's all good. And this today, for this week, I'd like to talk about being grateful. If you want to be happy, if you want to enjoy life, and you do look for the good, you're going to appreciate things. And the more you appreciate things, the more you're thankful for things, the happier you're going to be. And sometimes I can just go on a rant. I mean, it's great to every day write down 10 things you're thankful for. But sometimes I'm just driving down the road and I'm thankful for the lines. I'm thankful for signs. I'm thankful for my vision. I'm thankful.
I'm thankful to the Lord for my survival from the slaughter fields of Vietnam. Just this week, I was reminded from my email buddies of one guy that was died in my place, basically. And I'm thankful for that. That not that he was killed, that I wasn't.
Okay, and I'm thankful for exercise, and I'm thankful for the sun, and I'm thankful for this show, and the fact that we can laugh.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for your jokes. Some of them are
jokes.
better than mine.
You're the funnier one.
You're funny.
You're funny.
You're funny.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
Okay, now what we're going to do is
say goodbye.
No, we're not.
It's time.
Is it time?
Yes, it
Is
is.
it time?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Well, what is it you want to do?
Say goodbye. I told you that.
Bye.
Wrap it up.
I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope that we get to see you next week if we're still on the air.
Are we, if we're still in the air? You have a lot of error.
Okay. Let's just end this while we can.
Watch that hand, kid. I know what you're trying to do. Oh.